Hey everyone, it's Mario Time 1000, and welcome back to the third episode, because this is a series now, of the 2018 F1 Diecast unboxing thing. Yeah, real catchy name for the series. Today we are taking a look at what I'm sure a lot of people are really looking forward to. We're taking a look at Ferrari, undoubtedly the most popular team in F1's history. Of course, second place being Tolman. Does anyone even know what that is? Today we are looking at the Ferraris, and we've come up at a point that I honestly thought Ferrari was going to be the last team that I got, because Ferrari are dumb. Purposefully holding it for a sec, just to let all the people that just are mad that I made that comment leave. No. Ferrari do not license out to Mini Champs or Spark. If you have been watching this series, I guess I should have said this first. If you are unaware of this series that I'm doing, and you're just clicking on for Ferrari, in that case you probably already clicked off. This is a series, as I mentioned earlier. We've already looked at the Spark Marcus Ericsson diecast in the first episode, and the second episode, I got to reach all the way back here. It's just not going to work. Toro Rosso double pack back there. And no, I did not actually get a new camera. It's actually just working. I found some settings that make it look a little bit better. So this is the first episode where it looks halfway decent. But Ferrari do not license out to Spark or Mini Champs. So to my knowledge, the 143 scale Ferraris from Bburago are the only ones you can get. Now that wouldn't be a problem, except for the fact that, well, here's what we got last year. This is last year's Ferrari car. Certainly not bad for what I was looking for last year. I was just looking for F1 stuff. I really did not care what it was like, the quality was like. The only problem is there's no driver, and these cars are smushed like nobody's business. And what I mean by that is that if we zoom in on it here, there's our good old Sebastian Vettel. And I'm just going to take this one that I looked at in the last video, the 2017 Toro Rosso by Mini Champs. You can see the car, you got to be delicate with the Mini Champs, don't really care about the Bburago. Lined up to wheelbases is super short, and it's just all small in general. It's not right. And the wheelbases too. The wheelbases are the same as the 2016 Bburagos, in terms of how long the wheel length, I guess, would be more correct term. You can see, especially in the rear tires, how long these are compared to this. So the proportions on the Bburago cars are not correct. Here it is. You can see they're pretty much the same length. It's been a long time since I brought out that Mercedes. You probably forgot I had it. That's Nico Rosberg, by the way, because it doesn't show. But you can see they're the same. Now, once again, that wouldn't be a problem if I wasn't trying to collect the entire 2018 grid. I want cars that will look right next to each other. So I was thinking Ferrari, I was just going to have to settle for Bburago, which you see I have. But I think I've gotten some sort of premium Bburago car. I've seen on Amazon Bburago 2018 cars that look like this and are driverless. But I also found, for more money, those are about $14 back there. This was about $20. $23, I think, is what I paid for on Amazon. These right here. And I'm hoping that this is some sort of premium car. That this is Bburago's collector's car or something. If you can see, it doesn't come in the same box as you've seen from past Bburago cars. And you're just going to have to take my word for it. I do not have any Bburago boxes on hand. I think I've thrown them away or something. I'm hoping that right here, these diecasts will be as long as the Spark cars, because the Spark, I mean, they're giants. Like, the mini champs and stuff are giants compared to those 2017 Ferraris back here. But just doing a first-hand box lineup, I don't know if it's looking good. But these might be the black sheeps. In fact, these will be the black sheeps. I don't intend on buying any Bburago Red Bulls RB14s because Spark and mini champs also have RB14s out. But nevertheless, it is what we are going to look at because Ferrari do not want to buy. But it's 14 plus ages. I don't remember what it said on before. But I'm hoping this is some sort of collector's edition and that Ferrari have made, or Bburago have made. Hoping, fingers crossed, that these do not stick out like a sore thumb. But we're going to look at, I hope they don't stick out like a sore thumb because Bburago made, as I said before, regular cars. But I guess we're about to find out. Never taken the dust cover off. I guess we could take a look at the packaging first. Got a nice thing on there, Bburago on the bottom. It's the Ferrari official product. Here's the front. Here's the back. It's got the same back as all the other Bburago cars I've looked at. I've never seen a Bburago car in a case like that, but that is the 2012 Ferrari. Yes, F2012. Probably 2010 Ferrari right there. And 2015 Ferrari. Here's the back. And here's the front again. Here's the top. Blah, blah, blah. Let's dive into this because it's been 6 minutes and we haven't yet. There it is. Ferrari in all of its enhanced glory. Here's the, wow, this, you can see just how, you can't even really tell how there's not a whole lot of case there. Not really anything for me to grab onto. Well, here it is. The 2018 Scuderia Ferrari SF71H. Looking pretty bulky, honestly. I don't know. First impressions, it looks really big. But not like, it looks really bulky. Not like an F1 car would look. It looks distortedly big. Like I was saying, the sparks and stuff look big, but this looks huge. But yeah, that is what we're dealing with right now. I'm not going to beat it up too much because we haven't really given it a proper chance. But this is on a stand, and I don't intend on keeping it on the stand because it's a Bburago car. I'm not worried about breaking it because it's a toy, so it's not like a delicate model. So let's take it off the stand and give it a closer look. Well, here it is. The Scuderia Ferrari SF71H. I believe that's what it's, yes. Out of the box, off the stand, and onto the table by Bburago. And let's give it a close look. I can't really say anything about the quality of this car. Well, my opinions on this car we will figure out once we give it a comparison to the Spark and Mini Champs cars size-wise. Now, quality-wise, I did not buy this car expecting it to be the same quality as a Spark or Mini Champs. I'm going to say that. I know what I'm getting into with a Bburago car. And if you're looking for a Spark or Mini Champs quality out of these, well, you are destined to be angry at it. You're destined to be disappointed by it. I am not looking for that. I don't expect it to have all these extra details. Although what is nice is that it appears to have at least similar to the Spark diecast quality on the Halo. No, that's definitely worse. But the Halo, you can still see that there is a little bump in it to fake a winglet. But it looks like this Halo is a separate piece. Like you could actually probably remove it fairly easily. Look at how it's flexing. Ugh, people are going to get mad at me for that, but this is definitely a toy, guys. The wheels move. Been a long time since I've reviewed an F1 diecast where you can actually spin the wheels. It's pretty nice. but give you a good look over. We've got Shell, UPS, Ray-Ban, 5. One thing I did not like about this Ferrari was just how bare it looked for most of the season right here. Just red. Before, it was also just red, but we had the white T shark fin, and we also had the Scuderia Ferrari logo. This year, they got rid of it for the whole season, and then in Japan, they got Mission Win Now, which is Philip Morris's I don't even know thing. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm looking at it now, the driver figure. We've got a nice helmet, but I don't even know. It won't even show up on camera, which is so unfortunate. But there's literally nothing down there. Like, there's a stump of a figure. I don't even know how I'd be able to show that, but I might have to come back in a video. But there's no detail whatsoever. You can see that. See that? Look, there's no detail on this driver right here. Unbelievable. It just looks so funny. The driver figure, definitely the worst driver figure I've seen, but it's the first Bburago car I have in 1/43 scale that has a driver figure. Here's the underneath. No board detail, but they didn't have board details on the other ones. Front wing is usually plastic, pretty flexible right there. Don't want to break it because it's still possible to break. But the nice thing about the Ferraris, is that they do a pretty good job of hiding the plastic compared to the die-cast. Like, the whole monocoque and front area are die-cast, but the pieces that are plastic, you can't really tell because it hides in very well. The 2015 Red Bull was a car that did not do this, and hey, we've got some winglet detail here too that the Sauber had. Not as good, not nearly as good detail as the Sauber, but hey, it's still on there. We've got an Alfa Romeo logo on here, despite the fact that they have their own team. Come on, Alfa Romeo. How much sponsorship do you want? Kidding, of course. On the back here, though, this is something that I noticed. Rear diffuser detail, rear exhaust detail, about as much as you would expect from a Bburago diecast. But look at this. What is going on here? You see this red, like, paint? I don't even know how this got here. Is this supposed to be here? I guess we'll figure out when we take a look at the Kimi Räikkönen, but that just looks wonky. I'm talking about this right here. You see that? Looks so odd. Number 5, Sebastian Vettel, and it got his signature Sebastian Vettel helmet. If it's decided it's a signature helmet. Driver figure loosely in there. But yeah, as I said before, this area around here just looks so big. I don't know what it is. It just looks big for no apparent reason. So that is the Sebastian Vettel. Let's compare it to Sebastian Vettel's car last year. This is ultimately where the Bburago car could fall apart. Ooh, it is longer. It's longer and bigger by a considerable margin. Not longer and bigger. Anyway, that's for my second channel, which does exist. And if you're watching this for some reason, that's where the Beyblade video will be. Particular people. Yeah, that's significantly bigger by a long shot. The front wing's a little crooked though. It looks like. You could just see, where did Santander go? Deer. I don't know. Where did that go? I just noticed right here, there's no logos on it whatsoever. There's no white. That must have been what that was for. I guess they just decided to leave this year. I don't remember that being a story, but it's not on the rear wing at all, and it's not on the front wing at all, but it was fairly prevalent on the front wing here. Pretty much every splash of white on this car was from that, I guess. But yeah, that's last year's car. This is this year's car. Pretty nice that it's at least longer. We'll have to stack it up compared to the Mini Champs and Spark. It's just going to get outclassed by them in detail. But lengthwise, I don't know. We could be looking at a draw here. Of course, also Ferrari's car could have been shorter than those cars. But we'll figure that out later because we've got one more diecast to look at. That is Kimi Räikkönen's 2018 SF71H. I guess I didn't really talk about Sebastian Vettel's season. That's something I usually do. We'll get back to that. Let's take a look at the Räikkönen. I don't need to take it out of the box. The box is the same exact box everywhere. I'll just get it out of the box and we'll cut to that. And here it is in all of its wonderful glory. Now, before I get into the diecast, let's get into a critique. These cases suck. They're impossible to get the plastic clear part off, and it doesn't look like it's going to be any easier to get it on because the plastic clear part, zoom in, it goes down, it caves in on itself, and so it's going to be really difficult to get it back on. Not even going to try that. So this diecast is never going back in the case, unfortunately, but that's not exactly a terrible thing because the Bburago cars don't really need it because they will be easier to dust without breaking anything. Here's Kimi Räikkönen's diecast. It is the same thing pretty much. In fact, it is exactly the same thing. Something that won't really show up on the camera is the detail. It is pretty nice, just the molding on it. As you can see, the Ferrari is orange-red, like Philip Morris, because Philip Morris owns Ferrari. That is not an opinion, that is a fact. Anyway, second take always works well. Anyway, that red whatever hoopada that was on the back of the Vettel, just in case you forgot from earlier in the video, is not on the Räikkönen. So that is a factory error that I have, and that is annoying. Wouldn't be as annoying if it was last year because I was just buying the cars just to buy them. Kind of annoying because I'm trying to get a collection here. But, you know, whatever. It's Bburago. It's whatever. I really think, I guess getting into the diecast itself, well, let's wait. One thing before, we got to talk about it. We always talk about it. The T camera, the camera on the thing here. It is all black. I am disappointed in you, Bburago. Bburago always do this. The 2015 Red Bull, it was all black on the Kvyat car, which isn't correct. But the thing about Bburago is that their Ferraris were always different. Last year, we got a differentiation. It's not even in focus, but you can tell Kimi Räikkönen's got a yellow thing up there. Vettel's is black. Both of them are black. It is a little bit annoying that they went on this cheapening here. Considering I think this is a premium-ish version of the 143. I think there is a version without drivers in it. I'm pretty sure there is. I'm pretty sure there is a version that comes with a regular box. Maybe I'm wrong. Someone will correct me there, but I'm pretty sure I've seen a Kimi Räikkönen on Amazon without a driver inside. So I feel like, I don't know, if I spent more money on a collector's edition 143, I should be getting a little bit more detail. But, how the whole world works, I don't know. These are the diecasts. I usually talk about the season. I think I've glossed over it in the last few races. Ferrari, what did you do this season? You had a better car than Mercedes. That's like proven. You Ferrari'd the season. Let's talk about Italy. You guys got destroyed in Italy. And you could talk all you want about, oh, Mercedes held Kimi Räikkönen up, blah, 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 blah. Vettel really, I will give credit where credit is due. Vettel really threw a lot of it for you. But in Italy, Mercedes just threw the strategy out the window. You threw the strategy out the window. Mercedes threw it at the window. I don't know. They tricked you. If you don't remember Italy, Räikkönen pitted, and Mercedes made it seem like, oh yeah, Hamilton's coming in next lap. So Räikkönen basically destroyed his tires trying to do out laps every lap, and Hamilton stayed out for like 5 laps. It was insane. And then the tires were just bad because you didn't bring enough. You only bringing one set of the hardest tire to each race to use in the race and not in practice. What were you thinking? Yeah, Ferrari, you really binned it in a lot of places. But, I mean, they did build a pretty good car for this season, and obviously that just was one race that they lost because of the strategy. They could have done better in Singapore, but Mercedes kind of showed up to Singapore unlike any other time they had showed up to Singapore, because usually they are bad at Singapore. Not the case this year, at least for Hamilton. I don't remember where the other guy finished. Fifth, probably. Finished fifth a lot this season. Vettel did pretty well. Won a couple races, but overall, I don't know. When did he spin out? He spun out in Japan, USA. He binned it pretty much every time he could. Very unfortunate. He's a very good driver, but Hamilton just got in his head, and I think Nico Rosberg even said it. Don't let Hamilton in your head, because he'll screw you. He'll frick you up. I don't think Nico Rosberg said anything like that, but this is not a news channel. This is a hot take channel. I didn't realize this, but that white detail just doesn't fit on this. Kimi Räikkönen had a pretty decent season, all things considered. He won a race. He nearly won two. That United States Grand Prix was actually incredible. It was the best race of the season, undoubtedly, hands down. But he's moving on. He's moving back to Sauber, where he started his career. He will no doubt end his career at Sauber. I think after 2020 he will be done. But maybe not. Who knows where he could go? He could stay in as long as around. I'm sure he gets a lot of money for a team, because he's a very well-known driver, Kimi Räikkönen. He's been in the sport for almost 20 years, I think. 2001, that was his first season. Creeping up on 20 years there. That's something. That's really something. But yeah, Kimi Räikkönen, pretty solid season, I guess. Third in the points. I think that proves very well that Ferrari had a better car there. What do I think of the Diecast? Well, on their own, they are not bad. They are better than Bburago's regular cars. They are longer. I think they are more accurate to the real 27 or 18 cars. If you were just buying these because you were a Ferrari fan or you were an F1 Diecast fan, just wanting to get some F1 Diecast because they're really expensive, these are not bad. As I said before, I do not know if there is a cheaper version of this car that doesn't come with a driver. I will find that out, I guess. I'm pretty sure there are, but you guys in the comments can correct me if I am wrong. However, I am not buying these because I just want some F1. Well, I guess I am buying them because I just want some F1 diecast. I want to get every car on the 2018 grid. So let's just do it. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's see if these hold up in terms of length. I don't want these to stick out. I've been looking at this Sauber all video long, and it just looks giant. But let's see. Ooh, baby. It's pretty darn close. It's pretty darn close. Now, this doesn't hold a candle to the quality that the Spark diecast is. And I'll be sure to, if I get a new camera, I'll be sure to re-look at the diecast I've done so far, because this camera just doesn't do it justice. How good the quality is on this. The floor is the only thing. The floor, I think, is really bad on the Spark diecast. I said it, the very first Spark diecast I ever looked, the floor sucks compared to the Mini Champs. But I think it holds up a little. Lengthwise, I think it holds up. The driver looks a little bit smaller. I think that just could be down to the difference of the car, though. I think this will do. This will do, I think. It looks odd because there's more plastic and it's a different type of plastic, but I think it will hold up. The tires look reasonably good. The rear wings look about the same size. So, obviously, it's a very different quality. It's a very different type of diecast. Two different ideas behind these diecasts. I would call this more of a toy and this a model. So, obviously, you're going to get some differences. The detail is nowhere near as good, and I think that's the real reason it just doesn't look right to me in a lot of cases, because this is a toy and this is a model, so you got to cheapen up the toy. But I think this will do. And now, so overall, in that case, I guess, it does work. It is a good car. If you are looking for more collector's type things from Bburago, obviously their 1/18 scales are pretty good. They're really good, actually, for the price. And, you know, you get pretty good details. I've got the 2017 ones over there, and I'm just looking at them, and they do look really nice. Try to cover that up so you can see the 5. Here's the thumbnail right here. Can't really tell my hands there. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? How have I lost that? Okay, there's a thumbnail right there. Yeah, you'll be seeing that with text on it. So yeah, it's pretty good. I guess I would recommend these, and I'm actually pretty happy that they are long enough to be. They're long enough. They are big enough. I can just tell by looking at this 2017 diecast, it is small compared in many places. Like this area right here, I said this area looked weird, big and bulky, and that's just probably because I was thinking of Bburago's typical diecast when looking at it. So yeah, I'm actually pretty happy. I'm actually pretty happy with how these are. I wish Spark and Mini Champs could make a Ferrari diecast. I would rather have those, but you can only get what you get. You can't. I can't, unless I wanted to make my own F1 diecast, which would be incredibly illegal. And honestly, if any team was going to sue me, it'd probably be Ferrari. So I'm going to cut the video just because I've got to go back to the Toro Rossos to get them. But we are going to take a look at our entire 2018 F1 grid as of right now. So the camera's in handheld mode now just because our grid is looking pretty big now. Just based off points, this is how I've lined up the grid so far. I have no idea how I'm going to display this. This is going to be a massive, massive thing. And in later videos, I'm not going to be able to fit this on the table. I can only fit one more car in row 3 and then row 4. So, yeah, but just look at it. We got the Vettel, Bburago Räikkönen, Mini Champs Gasly, Spark Ericsson, and Mini Champs Hartley. So we've got a pretty good 2018 grid forming here. Honestly, though, I'm getting a lot of freaking USA 2005 vibes from this grid. It's so small, and the 2 Ferraris are up front. Imagine if this was the F1 season. I was originally, for this video, gonna print out a point sheet for every video of what the points would be like if it were only these drivers that I have. Just imagine that they'll show these Ferraris 1-2 every race except for the races they retired. It would just be gone. It would be so. These guys would be so far behind. USA 2005, 2 Ferraris, 2 Minardis, and 2 Jordans. Who was going to win that race? I think all the other guys finished 2 laps down. But here it is. Very, very nice grid forming. And, yeah, I'm going to end the video here. This is going to be the last 2018 diecast review I do for a little while. But I'm sure I've spaced these videos out well enough. I'm filming all these pretty close together, probably within the same week. But, yeah, it's looking pretty nice. And I will see you guys in the next video. Videos are not stopping. I just don't have any more 2018 diecasts to get right now. But I do have a couple more that I will be looking at in the future. Here's the Bburago Mercedes, by the way. You can just look how dinky this is compared to this car right here. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the future.